Dear students, it is the second video for the week second. In the first video, we covered that how to communicate with your development team, fine, and we discussed these points, that how to conversate or share your technical subject matters with your audience, means the other developing teams or your customers, fine. Tips for communicating with developers who work remotely, the importance of setting your expectations, importance of documenting UI clearly, common developers must know some specific terms. Well, let's explain these points in precise manner. Learning how to frame questions to developers, or even just how to talk to them, ensure both parties feel respected, heard, and able to fill their parts of the project. Fine. If the communication in your organization is suffering, your developers may end up with inconsistent picture of your project vision. It means that whatever the communication you are going to make with your audience, means other developers, the element of respect, honor, integrity should be at the top level so that they may not feel humiliated. Next point was, you have to keep these points in mind. First, make sure you approach all communications with respect. Clear? Communicating with respect might seem simple, but make sure developers know you value their work and their time. Means that the very first point in interacting with your development team about technical subject matters is communicating with them in simple, sincere, direct, and precise manners. Clear? However you appear simple, you sound very courteous, yet you should not undermine that your development team will seem the spirit of your good nature, and they will value your work, your time, and as well as value their responsibilities, their work, and their time. Next point is, when you are communicating that you need from a developer, make sure you mention why you need it. Why will adding this feature add to users experience? Means that if you are going to ask your development team to annex or develop some extra feature in the very app, obviously it will add up with the work of your development team. They need justification rather than imposing your decree or your authority unduly on that. Give them that, justify your query, justify your demand on these points, that why you need it, number one, and why will this feature add to users facility, or why this, how this action will make up some good response or feelings for the organizations. This is really clear. Before you are going to enter into a discussion and adding a responsibility, do discuss duly and respectably with your development team, whether they are very subordinates or they are the senior members. Fine. This feature will, this style of communication will give them the confidence. They will feel empowered that okay, whatever the decision is taken, that is not taken like an autocratic person. It is not just like a dictator. They, the organization, the management, the top most people discuss them. Second thing is, next is, it is also important to ask yourself, why do I need this feature? Doing so can help you avoid asking for features that will create an overcomplicated UI, which may lead to the scope creep. Here it is technical question that sometimes the employer is driven by the feelings of heavy payments to their uh, subordinates, and they feel that these subordinates should not sit, they should not sit free and waste the time. They want that there should be at least some activity they should be doing, and most often the activities imposed by the top management is nothing of use except to keep them busy or for their inner satisfaction that they are doing something in response to the heavy payments. Remember this, if you are having this feeling about your employees, about any subject matter, first sit yourself and ask whether being a developer, do I need this? Why do I need this? How will this feature, this fatigue and effort imposed on them will be profitable or not? If you feel that adding of this feature is just complicating their life or their stay at the working place, or there is other alternative possible to utilize their uh, abilities, you must opt for the alternative option. And if no way around, your team is sitting and temporarily there is less work, either ask them to relax, or much better time is to involve them in some research activities so that later on for they may prepare themselves and get some extra information about the proposed uh, projects which may likely to be offered to the organization. And lastly, defining your process for a project to ensure everyone has a clear vision of the project upfront is essential. Developers and the non-developers should have a clear idea of what finished product will look like and how to get there. Specific methodologies like agile software development may help you and your team there faster and clear the way for more transparent communication along the way. This point is little bit technical, that the top management or the team leader must give a very brief, intelligent, fruitful presentation or discussion to the developers about the project, that what is this project, what's the problem state behind, and why this project is being designed, how far this project is going to be beneficial for both. And the expression and the communication choice of words should be so easy that even the non-technical persons somehow becoming relevant to that project be able to understand at least the basic concept, leaving the technical details. Fine. Well, the next thing is tips to communicate with developers who work remote. This is very important concept, that most of the work in IT and software development is executed remotely. For example, freelancing, the client is sitting in America, in Sweden, in Norway, in Germany, whereas the developer is sitting in Pakistan, India, Canada, Philippines, or somewhere in the Middle East. Thereby, they are the remote. It is not physically possible for the client or even the development team to approach over and again constantly and solving the queries about the project. Thereby, these guidelines can help you a lot in interacting with your development team at remote. The world is transitioning to remote working at an incredibly rapid pace. The majority of means Gen Z and millennials work remotely each week. For example, mean it is this that you can use the latest applications, destinations, resource sites to use and to connect with your uh, development team. Fine, you can make a video call, you can make a WhatsApp use, you also may use Messenger and others, or there are certain other uh, platforms entertaining these people on the technical grounds when you can prepare your slide, you can share your multimedia project part slides and technical content. Hope you have understood this.